Hey everybody, John Granato and Lance Zierlein from the bench. Mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Hit subscribe right now if you haven't already. See, Lance, he's hitting subscribe right now to get all of our content here at SportsMap HOU. Let's talk some Texans football. Let's talk about the AFC South. Lance, is there a chance it's going to be the NFC East from last year? Really, really crappy division. Carson Wentz, is he going to be? He could suck again this year. Derrick Henry, historically, 2,000-yard rushers fall off drastically, and he's their whole team offensively. And then the Jags, they won one game, and they got a rookie quarterback, and we know what the Texans are. So is there a chance that this could be the NFC East this year?
Nah, I don't see it. Jacksonville should be better, honestly. There's no question the Texans are going to be worse. Jacksonville, I think, will be better just through all the moves that they've made. They'll be better. Look how bad they were. I mean, Jacksonville got the first pick of the draft. They're not going to be worse than that. And I just think the Colts are not built around just a quarterback. They were able to win and get into the playoffs with a guy who couldn't throw the ball 20 yards last year. So I think that with the Colts having Marlon Mack back, I do think they're going to be – I think the Colts and the Titans could be in the market for Julio Jones, both. Honestly, if Atlanta decides to trade him after July 1st or June 1st, I guess, I think both of those teams would make some sense. Even if Derrick Henry falls off, I don't know that it's going to be drastic enough to, you know what I mean? I don't think the Titans and the Colts are built to where they can take a significant loss.
I think the Titans might be able to. I think the Titans could be an average team. That's a possibility.
Hey, but NFC East didn't even have an average team last year.
No, right. Well, yeah, they had a close to right at 500 team at 7-9, right? So the Redskins snuck into the playoffs that way. The Colts are built better. There's no question about that. The Colts are a well-built team, but there's no guarantee that Carson Wentz, just because he's with Frank Reich, is going to be good. And if he's throwing interceptions as opposed to not being able to throw the ball 20 yards down the field, then and if they've got to go to backups, then there's a possibility they could be in trouble. Let's just say that scenario plays out, though. Let's say that all these teams aren't very good this year. Would you rather see the Texans sneak into the playoffs, or would you rather see them lose badly and get the high draft picks?
Well, the easy answer is lose badly and get the high picks, but the NFL is not the NBA. I say it's the easy answer for most people, but the fact is that you'd rather have a winning culture and make a good pick in the middle of the first round than be a losing culture and have a high pick. Because when you have the high pick, I mean, you got a chance, but you got to get a special player. Are you going to have a special player that can turn you around? The Texans are going to have multiple picks next year, potentially. And, if they're able to move Deshaun Watson, it's really going to skyrocket their draft capital. So I would tell you that right now I don't see a Trevor Lawrence in this draft. And with that said, I don't see a Myles Garrett necessarily. I don't see, one of these guys who you say is just a game-altering physical talent and a specimen. So with that said, it may seem counterproductive to what we've been talking about with the Rockets, but in basketball, you have to get one of those guys to help to trigger a change. In football, there's a reason that Ozzie knew someone drafted in the top 5 all the time, and he found good football players. If you're good at finding football players, you're good at finding football players. So I would almost rather say sneak into the playoffs, because that means that you're seeing somebody's doing something decent.
I agree wholeheartedly. This is a team that we don't expect to win 4 games. 4.5 is the under-over. If this is a 9-8 team or an 8-9 team and it sneaks into the playoffs because the whole division is so bad, I think it would be exciting here. I think that that would be something that you go, wow, maybe Nick Caserio did a pretty good job with the Kevin Pierre-Lewis's and the Terrence Mitchells and Brooks and all of these guys. Maybe a Desmond King's. Maybe there's he's actually finding some middle of the road talent that actually they're playing good football together. We find out that Lovie Smith is a good coordinator. We find out that maybe David Culley is exactly what the team needed, a positive influence and a reinforcement, as opposed to the Bill O'Brien regime that was just beating everybody down. I would be excited if this team was 9-8 or 8-9 and actually fighting for a playoff
Now,
spot.
you
I
asked me-
I think it would be great for the team.
Now, if they're 8-9 and they don't make the playoffs, I'd rather them have two wins. I mean, make no mistake. If it's not a playoff team, get an early pick. I mean, I'd rather have playoffs than like, almost playoffs. Nah, be trash then. Win 2 games.